Hi, Chad. How are you?
There we are.
Oh, there we are. Oh, my gosh. Are we on the screen yet?
We're on the screen.
Oh, my God. I was here first.
You did walk in.
I was here first.
You a little behind the scenes humor.
I'm my favorite fan.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain. I literally just watched this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
For the first time?
For the first time I watched Captain Phillips.
Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah, it was good.
It had me, my stomach was a little in knots for a while. Like, I was nervous.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Irish. Yeah. Well, we got a live show here. What is it, episode 108?
We got
Ask
a full house.
Me anything. Oh.
Ask Kevin anything.
Dylan, I was first. I promise.
Wow.
Just kidding. Well, okay, should we just get it over with?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's let them banter. They're bantering. We got people in the house. The whole crew is here.
Hi, Ed.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for checking us out. This is the Canada Athletic Training Podcast. Live.
Brew Fitness, MKE.
It sure is. And, as always,
Goodbye.
The official sponsor of the Canada Athletic Training Podcast, your friends at Healthy Roster. Woohoo! www.healthyroster.com. Go check them out for all your EMR needs.
You had to use their product today, didn't you?
I mean, we used their product.
Yeah. How'd it go? I mean, did you have any problems?
No.
Yeah. Does it run smoothly?
The one feature that I thought I would use that I haven't, and it's not because of them, it's because of me. It's this
is a me issue.
You know those progressive commercials?
Not you. It's me.
The progressive commercials.
Sorry,
where
Dan.
you're turning into your dad or your parents. I love those frickin' commercials.
We all see it.
Hair's blue.
He's got blue hair. He's got blue hair.
Like, they're so funny.
They are really good.
Did I hashtag? But that's how I feel with technology. Like, I'm like, I suck. Can somebody show me how to? Well, and because I've been a Mac user for a while now.
Yep. And
our school computers are Windows based, and I tried to use an Excel.
Yeah.
For the first time, I'm like, I don't remember how to do any of this on an Excel. Give me a Mac. But when it comes to Healthy Roster, the one feature that I thought I'd be using all the time that I haven't because I'm scared to.
Speak to text.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because because I mumble and
I'm blah, 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 blah,
like
blah, blah.
my mouth, like, okay, case in point, last week, what did I say? I said,
I don't know. You were
a
mumbling.
teaching example. I inversed the words.
Yes, you
I was
did.
talking so fast, and then I said something about
learning
opportunity.
and teaching.
Yeah, learning a teaching experiment. Whatever it was.
I bet Nate remembers.
So I screw up talking all the time because I go too fast in my head. It makes sense, but anyways, I'm gonna try it. But our friends at Healthy Roster, they do have a quality EMR. I do appreciate it. I am way further ahead on treatments and notes than I ever have been in my life.
That's good. I've never have been up to date on them. I'm always behind. Always.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else for the intro? You want to tell them anything?
I didn't write anything down.
Yeah. Did we have any polls that needed to be wound up? I mean,
no,
I don't think so,
not
right?
really. We have some going in. Well, no, I don't think so. I think we're at Brew Fitness, Healthy Roster. Check them out. We have an Ask Us Anything.
We do.
For those of you who are listening to this on podcast form and you're not joining the live stream, that's great. We appreciate that. If you want to upgrade, you can go
upgrade.
You can listen to this episode 1 week earlier.
You can, and you can participate live.
These guys, how much fun are you guys having bantering with each other? I can't even keep up.
They're calling each other frenemies.
Frenemies.
Let's go.
Got a lot of frenemies. Is that
Let's
Drake?
Go.
That's Drake. Got a lot of frenemies.
Really?
I'm hip.
You are.
I used to love hip hop, but it sucks now.
That's how you know you're old.
We got an Ask Us Anything feature topic, which will be fun. We have some comments on the social media, which is Canada_ATC. I'm guessing a lot of it's going to come from the peanut gallery here.
Yep.
Shall we call them the peanut gallery?
There are peanut gallery. So yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know, just a fun, action-packed show.
Sure.
Should we?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. And you know what, Zach? Thank you so much for that. I am putting that on.
Zach, live streams are the best part of
For those of you
Mondays.
who are catching this later, you will not be able to see that unless you are watching it on YouTube. Live streams are the best part of Mondays.
They really are.
It's the most fun for us.
What'd you do all day? Did you work?
I worked, man. Today, actually,
Did you get your butt kicked today?
a little bit.
All right.
A little
Why?
bit.
Why?
Just baseball was back.
Oh, baseball's back.
Yeah. I forgot how to take this comment down.
Yeah, leave it up there.
There we go.
Who cares? Leave it up there.
I'm
Let
still
the
learning.
folks see.
Technologically challenged. Yeah, we had a track meet. Oh, how about this? How about
Yeah,
this?
I'm
Should have
ready.
been in. This should have been in the intro.
Okay.
I didn't tell you about the track coach from the other team
No, you didn't.
who came up to me.
You had a dual meet.
We had a duel.
Yep.
So it wasn't one of our coaches. It was one of the opposing coaches, and I don't even necessarily know if he was like a university. Like I think he was just like kind of a I help out kind of coach.
Okay. All right.
I'm
all right.
here.
One of
Came up to
those
me in the
coaches.
middle and
Okay.
he said, "Do you have any ice?" And I laughed out loud, chuckled. And he's like, "I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't bring ice out to the event because I said, I'm sorry, I haven't used ice in 5 years." He's like, "You don't have ice?" I said, "No, I'll go get you some. It's just I don't use it, so I didn't even think to bring it out." And do you still bring it out? Do you still
Would I?
when
I
you were
would.
in minor league baseball, you would put it out for the other team in case they want to use it?
Well, they had an ice machine in their locker room. Yes.
Okay.
That I made sure worked. But they also had like a cold tub that they would use. I don't know if anybody was really using the ice for inflammation and pain control.
And he said, "You don't use ice?" I said, "Well," he goes, "What do you use?" I go, "Numerous amounts of other things, anything but."
Anything but.
And then I got his ice and I brought it back and he wanted to kind of have a little conversation about it. And I was like, he said, "I've been doing this for 40 years. And what he said was, "Ice for after, Flexol 454 for before." I said, "Fine. I'm fine with the Flexol before. I actually can get behind that."
Sure.
But I'm like, this guy. And then, okay, we're going to fast forward to about 45 minutes later. I was standing at the end of the 60-yard dashes because that's, the end of all of the running events end in the same place. So that's where if someone is going to get hurt, most likely I'm going to stay there.
Sure.
So he came over and we were at the end of the 60-meter.
Yep.
And
The finish line, they call it.
The finish line. Good call. The beginning line, the finish line. He casually looks over to me. I'm just kidding. He casually looks over to me and he says, "Are these the men or the women running? I can't see that far." And I was like, that's when you know it's time.
It's time.
Time. If you can't tell if the men or the women are running right now, how are you helping?
I've been doing this for 40 years.
Incredible.
You know what? There's a lot of old track coaches out there. A lot of old
I
track
have
coaches.
a question for you. Being a track,
Yeah. What do you need?
do all track officials
Yep.
look like they should be in the WWE?
Yes.
Like they're all 65-year-old white
Yes.
dudes with front porches.
Yep. And like maybe like a mustache.
It's incredible.
Like, yes, absolutely. And you wonder like,
Were you
how did you
involved in
get
track?
in? Yeah. Like, were you at some point in, like, why would you want to be at a track meet right now? Like I think most refs are though, right? You go to a high school basketball game and you look at the refs, most of them are like, you might die running up and down the court.
Yeah,
And then there's always one really young like guy and one young lady that's like in the conference, and they're sprinting, they're not even out of shape. They're making they're winking at the other people, and like they're go over to the Gatorade cooler, get you a little sip.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of reminds me
And
of
then
like,
there's the old guy that's gonna die, and he's always the one in charge. He's always the one that. Listen. Let's meet about this. Let's meet.
Who gives them the gun? They get the gun.
They might have to buy that gun.
All right. So sorry, that should have been intro, but it just occurred to me now.
This is the Candid Athletic Training Podcast.
Yeah.
CandidAthleticTraining.com. All right.
Yeah. Pick a segment, Kevin.
Ooh, Dylan's the young ref. Interesting. He's the in shape guy, flexing, just so everybody
Flex
can see
all
him.
454.
He's the one. He's the one wearing the real tight sleeves, and make sure that we did some bicep curls beforehand. Oh yeah, that's Dylan. Totally. Where do you want to go?
Nope.
Oh, let's go top 5.
Top 5.
Because I think it's going to be an easy one.
It is an easy one. Let me get my sheet of paper here. We asked the athletes this week. What's so funny?
Just
me, the finish line?
Quote,
Shit.
the line where the race ends.
That's not a false statement, everyone. It's not a false statement. We asked the athletes, what's the most most often injured body part? Not necessarily on them specifically, but what did they think is the most injured?
Okay, ready? Hamstring, knee, ankle, shoulder, back. I got them all, didn't I?
You're so close. You're so close.
What did I miss?
One snuck in there. Okay. All 5 of the ones you said made the top 5, but there was a 6th.
Oh.
And
it would be, I'm going to say...
It's going to be so generic, you're not even going to
Oh,
like
really?
it. Yeah.
Finger.
Nope, fingers got 2, but they did not make the top.
So generic?
Yeah.
A cut. A bruise. Oh,
we can't say that.
Nice head.
Performitis.
Ed just got points, by the way.
Yeah.
If we're keeping score,
2
Ed
points,
got points.
Ed. He's in the lead, Dylan. You're behind. Okay. Tied for 5th place, shoulder and back.
Okay.
It's like a workout day.
Yeah.
Shoulder and back day. three answers apiece.
Yes.
Here's the one that tripped you up. In 4th place.
You can't read it?
No, I can. I was just making sure it was 4th place. It is 4th place with 5 responses. Arms in general.
Arm injuries.
Arm injuries.
Okay.
I think maybe it was like pitchers thinking, my arms. Well,
arm
just
care.
put that in your shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
3rd place with 14 was hamstrings. And then, man, ankle and knee were 1st and 2nd place. Ankle came in 2nd with 30, and then knee just barely edged them out with 33 responses, 1st place.
Does that tell us anything? Can we learn anything from that? It
tells us that knees, I'm guessing we're basketball player, soccer players. Hamstrings were probably track athletes. Ankles could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe volleyball. I mean, I
think
feel
everybody assumes everybody's sprained an ankle. If you're an athlete, you've sprained your ankle before. I think that's what people think.
Yeah, I've never sprained my ankle before, but that's
really,
like you just said, I'm not an athlete.
That's true. You've never sprained your ankle before?
No, actually, it's because I have no range of motion. I can't invert or evert very well.
In your years of high school,
football, never,
baseball,
I will say
playing baseball all the way until you were what, 35?
I've never. Okay. Oh boy, I don't know. This is
even a grade 1.
I had an ankle injury. Okay. Did not roll my ankle.
Okay.
I got hit with a baseball in the ankle.
Oh.
And it swelled up. Does that count?
No.
Yeah, I was pitching batting practice for one of the games. I left my ankle outside the L screen, and I took a line drive right off the bat. And I think I was supposed to work.
That hurts. At the restaurant or something?
So I ended up going to a professional baseball game that you might have been a part of.
Maybe.
And I ended up halfway through the game. I couldn't walk back to my car. I had to get the little special vehicle to take me to my vehicle because it swelled up in the middle of the game. I thought it would be fine, and it was not. I actually missed. That was the only 3 days of work I've ever missed in my entire life at the restaurant.
Because you got smoked by a line drive?
Yeah.
Wow.
At
That's awesome.
UWM, I've never missed a day of work because of illness or injury.
Really?
I've missed a couple due to some family events, weddings, funerals, et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's, for me, like a kind of a source of pride is I don't call in sick. I know my coworker, Kelly, will probably get mad that I say that. There have been a few times where I go home an hour or a couple hours early because I haven't been feeling great and it's slow, but I go in. So
that is good. Why would Kelly be mad at you?
I don't know. I think she thinks I don't take care of myself.
Oh.
And I feel like I do. I feel like I have a pretty solid immune system.
She's worried about you. She's just always worried about you.
I appreciate that.
It's okay. Anything else on the top 5? Can we learn anything else from that?
Not really. Not really.
Right?
No. That athletes are very vanilla.
And they have arm injuries.
Was there any fun ones? Let me see.
Yeah, was there any?
No. Foot, legs, midsection.
It's true, Dalen.
Achilles. Somebody did say Achilles. Hip flexor, groin. No. Even that is just probably something that they had.
Sure. All right, now on to what? What do you want to move on to? Fat or FMK?
No, let's go to fat. We're going to go to fat here.
Okay. Fat it up.
And in fact, I need to preface this by saying
Preface it. Lots of
this
emphasis.
actually came in today on our social media Instagram where we asked if people had questions for tonight's Ask Us Anything. And this was a two-parter. I want to get the right person down here.
Okay.
I think his name was Matt.
Okay.
Matt Man 972. I'll ask the other half of the question later during the feature topic. But he said, for a more fun question in honor of the start of the MCU Phase 4, do you think Wanda or Vision would make the better AT?
Okay.
And we talked about it last week, and so that's what we're doing. We're doing WandaVision, which Ed just discovered last week. Wanda or Vision?
Wanda or Vision?
And I will say, I did watch episode 1 last night.
Haven't watched any episodes yet.
I think there's only 3 out.
Okay. You're not a fan so far.
So far, it
fan.
was a tough watch. The pace, whatever. It was like a 70s. It's a timepiece. They're trying to recreate I Dream of Jeannie.
Yep.
Kind of thing. It looks like for at least 2 episodes. Maybe starting to get into the 3rd episode, it gets better or gets a little bit more like current. I don't know.
So they don't give you like a shocker in the first episode to keep you
at the end of the first. There was a small little one.
Zach says it's very odd.
Yeah, it is odd.
Okay. It
but
gets better.
Okay.
It always gets better.
Oh, okay, that's good. So
I'm sure it does.
Episode 2 and 3, I'll give it a break.
You know the only show that didn't get better of all the Marvel shows?
Shows or movies?
Shows and movies, to me, was the Iron Fist.
I didn't want to watch that one. I heard it was terrible.
I watched every episode of the one season they had, thinking at some point I'm going to at least go, man, that was cool. And it was never cool. Ever.
Dylan says, legit, how do you all have so much time to watch all of these TV shows and movies? I'll tell you how. We're not packing kit on kit on kit. Oh shit kits.
No oh shit kits.
The kit I've been using forever is the kit I know where everything is.
Actually, I don't really watch. I'm watching Blacklist, and that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Did you watch Daredevil?
Yes.
The TV show and the movie?
Yes.
Which one was better, in your opinion?
Oh my God, the TV show.
The TV show was better?
Like versus the Ben Affleck Daredevil?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't see the Ben Affleck.
Oh no,
there's only one reason to watch it.
Jennifer Garner is in it, and she's Elektra, right? Elektra? I think it's Elektra.
Yes.
This is what I'll say. That was just Daredevil the movie. Maybe it could be good now, but like that was just an era of bad comic book movies.
Yes.
Like no matter what, they just couldn't do a good comic book movie at that time because it just wasn't there yet. Now maybe they could. And I mean, the TV show I thought was great. The last season.
How many
of
seasons?
It, 3.
3.
I think the last season. Well, the second season is like a little like you just kind of get through it. But the third season's a little like okay. I mean, the first season's great though. I think the premise behind that character, the development of it. I think the best part of it was the bad guy. Like, I mean, why can't I think of his name? Who's the bad guy?
In Daredevil?
Yep. Wilson Fisk.
That's the bad guy's name?
Yeah, he's the main.
Wilson?
Wilson Fisk. He's technically Kingpin, I think.
Yes, that's who I was thinking of.
He's technically Kingpin.
Because Kingpin's a crossover Spider-Man.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that plays him is phenomenal, and I think you almost at times root for the bad guy, which is to me just a sign of like he's doing a really good job. Like, and so I would highly recommend that. The only thing that sucks about it though is between the Cage, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and then the girl, Jonas, or why can't I think of her name now? They're all like kind of crossover.
The
with
Defenders.
Each other. Yeah, like they're all like crossover with each other.
Jessica Jones.
And
I only know this because I play so many Marvel video games
Yes,
on my phone. Like,
yes, you do. But I think my disappointing fact, like, if I were you, I would never watch Iron Fist. Because one, I know it's only that season. I know it has nothing to do with anything else. It's not going to get me any, like, I don't know. It just doesn't help.
True or false statement?
Yeah.
Marvel movies, greater sign DC movies, but DC TV shows, greater sign Marvel TV shows?
So, Flash, Arrow. Who else is in there? Supergirl.
Smallville, technically, like something like that.
Yes.
So
mainly from the fact that I think
Arrow and
I did not
Flash.
finish Arrow and I have not finished Flash, but where I left off, I was still very invested.
But that's
in
still
both of
better
those.
than any Marvel, unless you like. You said you gave up on Shield, Agent of Shields, didn't you?
Yeah, it started getting really wild. Which so is the Marvel universe though, and that's why I don't know. I really liked that show. Was really great for like 2 to 3 seasons too. But then this whole like, I think the Inhumans or whatever, like it just loses me a little bit.
Gotcha.
Just a little bit. Anyway.
All right, Wanda.
WandaVision.
Wanda and Vision. So what are you thinking here?
So I go back to thinking of Age of Ultron. Wanda is very torn with herself all the time, right? She's not very confident in who she is. She's not the one that's going to be able to look an athlete in the eye and say, yeah, you know what? I think your ACL is torn, but this is where we're going to go from here. Vision can do that because he's very logical and he's very like, this is just the next step. This is just what we're going to do. Like, and so I think practicality, Wanda has like this emotion side to her that clearly helps her be a badass.
And she can improvise.
But like,
Vision's never going to improvise.
No, he would never improvise.
Everything has to be calculated.
Well, I don't know, would he?
No, because he would already have it calculated out in his head.
Yeah.
Probability of this rehab exercise working is
sure.
Yada yada yada.
He would contemplate everything though. Imagine he would think about every move throughout the day with this really deep thought.
Focus. Yeah, he's going to be the more focused athletic trainer. Dry.
Very dry.
Although he's not,
thoughtful, though.
He's not in the show. In the one episode, they kind of made him a humorous character.
Because he's supposed to be human, right?
Yeah.
Like he's no longer, I don't really know, but he's not, at this point, he's not Vision. Like he's not hey, look at me, I can wield, Thor's hammer and make a cape magically appear on my back.
Dylan says Vision would make the better AT, best able to tell athletes the truth when needed.
He will not BS his athletes. I honestly, there's something about Vision that's very calming when he tells truths. And I think that's like what an athletic trainer needs to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like when he talks, you get a sense of like everything's okay.
What about the stone? What's it helping with?
His vision. The Mind Stone. I mean, it allows him to even have thought, right? In theory, he's a flesh-bound robot.
Real talk.
What?
And this is going to kind of piggyback into our FMK.
Uh-huh.
What percentage of your day
what?
Is really thought-provoking? And how much of it is just monotonous routine, the same thing you've been doing every day for 10 years? When you were maybe not necessarily right now, but like filling coolers, cleaning tables, all that stuff. You don't have to think about that stuff. That's just stocking coolers. And
I'll say right now is 50-50. Right now I can go on autopilot for like half the time of my day and the rest of my day. Like, and it's weird. I think I don't know if Luke's listening right now, but like I remember when I started my job thinking, listen, if you can give me 25 guys every single day to take care of, and I'll do it. So like, you can't tell me working on 5 patients a day is like exhausting. But then the more I got into it, it is. If I have 5 patients in a day, which sometimes I have 10, but like if I have 5 that are all difficult cases, I am exhausted. And I think it's because they don't have as much of the autopilot.
Save that.
Because I do think that I bet 75% of my day was autopilot.
So what I'm saying is the Mind Stone to me is it's fine. Like the part of the job where you got to critically think is eval.
Stone?
What?
Yeah. I was going to say, what stone would help?
That's a great question.
That's a great fit.
Okay, we'll do that next week. I'll write it down too. Yeah.
I think. Oh man, I think having the Mind Stone would really help you.
Just eval.
Like boom, eval and notes.
Okay.
I think notes might really help.
And maybe
Time
a little
Stone
rehab
might help that more.
But for me, rehab is let's just make some stuff up and go with it. I mean, to a certain extent,
to me, it's like it's my time to be creative.
So Wanda, she's going to be the improviser. How about the telepathy? How many things is she moving with her mind? That's friggin' cool.
See, and that's
a pretty cool party trick.
And a very helpful party.
I'm filling coolers. I'm doing notes with my brain. I mean, she's basically a healthy roster. She's healthy roster in it. It's simple step.
It's fair. I mean, it's very fair. The ability to constantly move objects wherever you need them and help somebody out all the way over in that corner, and you're all the way over here. That would be. Now, can she do multiple things at once?
Yep.
Do you think?
Yeah, she did on the show.
Okay.
Now, Vision can phase like Flash.
He can
phase his hand and go through things. He cannot take objects with.
Oh. So he can't like replace an ACL for you without having surgery?
You know what? It's interesting. This is a small spoiler.
It's episode 1 though.
In episode 1,
a spoiler.
Somebody was choking and he phased to help them dislodge what the person was choking on.
Interesting.
So, there's a little bit of use there.
Do you think he could perform a surgery without opening and going through muscle, tissue, all that? Now, that's not athletic training, right? But, that would be...
Oh, wow. That is a great question, Kevin. Can you do it? But do you need the tools? You can't take the tools in. Can you... Can you
Fair.
take the ACL, take both your hands, and you just tie a knot? Yes. Take it.
What kind of knot would that be?
Yeah. I mean, can you?
Is that a double hitch Windsor something knot?
Yeah, definitely.
I know that was a tie. I get it. It's like a necktie.
So I don't know. What do you? Let's.
I'm Vision still is leading to me, mainly from he's a really good mix of like. He has a humanity about him and this like sensitive, almost like caring side, but it's always truth. It's always like, this is what you need to be doing. This is what's happening. And I just think that's very underestimated in athletic training, or what we should be good at. And I think Wanda is a bit emotional. I think she would, instead of handling all the situations, and maybe she's different now as she's getting older in the MC universe, but like, she would just blow everything up once she was all upset like she used to. Hence why her brother died.
So we put it up on the social media this afternoon.
Okay.
And
you put this up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've been doing them beforehand now, because otherwise it's 2 weeks before we talk about it again.
I just show
It's
up,
tough.
Chad. I just show up. I start talking.
Wanda, 53%, Vision 47% so far on the social media.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I think personality goes so far with me. I don't know, the improv thing.
Well, who do you think has a better personality? Are you saying Vision does?
No,
You think Wanda has a better personality?
I can't do super dry.
Oh. I can. Because I think he's got a little like humor
Then
every
again-
once in a while. It's funnier.
Couldn't Wanda though? Hold on.
Nope.
I'm thinking of Avengers Assemble, the first Avengers. Somebody called it Avengers Assemble. I thought it was just Avengers.
The first Avengers.
The first one
Okay,
where
New
they
York
were all,
City.
Yeah, were they all together?
Yep.
When she was under Loki's, or was that Age of Ultron? Sorry, which one was she and her brother, the bad guy, and then flipped over? Was that Age of Ultron? Okay.
Yeah.
In the beginning of Age of Ultron, she is hypnotizing and changing people's minds to get them to do what you want.
Yes.
Is that a cool trick for an athletic trainer?
I kind of.
You're gonna do this exercise.
I don't know, because
You're gonna go do this rehab.
I don't know if what she showed all of them were their biggest fears. I don't know if she could control their minds. That would be, I don't know.
I
don't know if that's what she was doing, because every one of them saw their fear, not like, and like their deepest, darkest secret fear versus. I need you. You're going to go over here and you're going to like do these exercises. I don't know if she can control. If she can, she can. And that's pretty valuable. But then, do you really, as the athletic trainer, do you really want all of that power to control what all of your athletes?
Yes, I do.
You
Actually,
know,
no. What I want to do is I want to have that to control my freaking coach's mind. Practice is done. These are the droids I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's a better one. I don't know if I want control of 25 different athletes.
This practice has been long enough. Shut it down.
What do you think? Who are you voting for? I'm still going Vision.
I'm gonna vote with the people here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Wanda.
You would vote with the people. He's so soft.
Get the people going. Yeah.
Okay, what's next? What do you want to go to next? What do we got left?
Oh, you know what?
FMK and FOF.
All right, we're gonna get this out of the way here.
What's out of the way?
FOF. Which I haven't told you.
FOF. No, it's surprise. Woo.
It's a surprise to you.
Surprise to me.
And I know what you're gonna say already.
Okay. Friend.
That's what you're gonna say.
Okay. All right.
That's
cool.
what you're gonna
say. Here we
go. It still hurts a little bit here up in Packerland.
Sure.
The Packers, our good friend Aaron Rodgers, couldn't pull off the come from behind victory yesterday. I know one of Nate's AMAs on social media this morning was about the game. Would you have gone for it on 4th and 9 or whatever instead of kicking the field goal? But anyways, our friend or foe is contingent, okay?
Yeah.
And I know you're going to say friend. I just know it, and I know why. Going to the playoffs and losing as an athletic trainer, your season is extended and you're just thrown into extra hours. And I know you're saying friend because in professional baseball, it means something completely different.
So
but for the rest of the country,
take that out of it.
But I can't. That's your experience. So that's a friend to you because that's a big thing in the professional sports. Yeah, explain it.
No matter what, when you make the playoffs in professional sports, well, in professional baseball, I know in the NFL is not as much as baseball. And then I don't know about the NBA. I've never talked to an NBA athletic trainer, but about playoff shares and money. And I mean, my bank account was directly affected if I made the playoffs.
So it's a friend.
Which is, I mean, it's an immense friend because to us, it could have been like life-changing money, not necessarily to every player, but to athletic trainers, I mean, it's life-changing money. That being said, I still think it's a friend no matter what. So when I was in the minor leagues, we made the playoffs, and I didn't get anything extra out of that.
You didn't?
The only thing I got to do is not come home after already not being home for 7 months.
Yeah, that's where my head goes is we're in a tournament every year.
Yep.
And it's double elimination. It's an extra week.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we're not going to win the thing, if we're not going to win the whole thing, let's just lose right away and go home. Yes or no? I don't know.
I mean, I'll give you this. I thought I was going to win it all, and I was kind of looking forward to having like a
celebration,
Southern
but
League.
That's why I'm saying
ring.
If you win the whole thing, that's cool. That's a friend. That's a great experience.
Sure.
Provided you are not going to win.
Because you know you're not going to win.
Well,
your situation, it's very tough to. I mean, you're a mid-major baseball team from the north playing against the top-ranked team if you make the
it's
actual
extra
tournament.
time. It's extra games. It's extra hours. Whatever it might be. Time on away.
So
is it still a friend to you?
I think in your situation.
What about the live streamers? What do you guys think? Friend or foe? Give it to us. You're on delay here.
I think, especially in your situation, it's still a friend as long as you don't hate going on the road. Because no matter what, you still you still do your job, right? So you might as well the game might as well mean something a little bit more. I like the couple weeks I had to stay extra in minor league ball. I mean, those days were so focused and so like there was a lot of excitement behind the game now. Like the energy changed. The guys were like very just, things didn't hurt as bad all of a sudden. I mean, everything about that.
Well, from an outsider, it looks like in professional sports, no one gives a shit until the playoffs.
Correct.
Like you're just going through the motion in the regular season and the playoffs. Now you're trying.
I think for the most part in professional sports, you are kind of on not autopilot, but you're trying to keep your head above water so that you can have the energy for the playoffs. Now, it's a totally different story when you're like a team that every day you're fighting for a playoff position. Or you're a team. Okay, so like the Giants, right? The New York Giants. I have a very, good friend that plays for the Giants. And there was just like this, like, I really want to make the playoffs, but I can't believe we're in this position. Like, because we shouldn't be. Like, we were sick. They were 6-10 or whatever, right?
6-10 playoff team.
I mean, that division was so bad that like 2 weeks left in the season, there was still this like, yeah, we might make the playoffs. And like, that's really cool. But also like, what is going on? Like I should be going home. And so it was a very confusing state of mind. Now as an athletic trainer, though, I still think regardless, playoffs are fun. Like, they should be good. And if they're not, like, then the culture around that team needs to change.
Yeah,
I think that's what, like, sucks is that, so say in your standpoint, I think.
Well, that's what Zach just said. For me, it literally relies on the team that it's with. If I get along with an athlete, it's a friend. If they annoy me, then it's a foe.
And so I've never had to deal with, like, say, high school stuff or college, like, having to cover 2 or 3 different sports in a college that because I made the playoffs, now it's really screwing up my other sport.
That's what Nate just said.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
Because to me, even seeing you go to, like, do playoff stuff, so it's an extra week and a half, 2 weeks of your season, but, like, in reality, you even told me it was like really, it was still like a really cool experience to get to go to the College World Series or, like, at least be in the
attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but even, like, when you won the Horizon League, even though you knew you were going to go down to Arizona State and play the #1 team in the country or whoever you guys played it that year.
No, that's it.
Like, I mean, your chances of walking away from that with a victory were very small.
Yeah.
But it still was this experience of seeing what the next step could be.
To me, we won. We won our conference championship. So that makes it worth it. Going and losing, it's like, oh, what are we? We're delaying the inevitable. I still like. I hate losing. I don't know if I like winning or hate losing more.
Okay, that's fair.
And
that's fair.
As an athletic trainer, I have to try to scale it back within myself.
Right.
We had that talk, like one of our earlier episodes, that fan talk. Is it okay to be a fan?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will let it fly, especially high school athletic trainers. They'll get in.
Yeah.
I try to not.
Sure.
And so it's like, oh my God, just focus on the job, but I hate losing. I honestly hate losing. It makes me miserable.
I think.
So I don't know. It's just, it's tough.
That's a different conversation about that too, though.
But anyways, playoff extended. Okay, extra time. It's just like,
is it faux to you?
Maybe I don't know. It's a little bit. I guess it is. Especially now because I have a family. It's time away. It's like, okay, I just want, my priorities are changing maybe just a little bit. Maybe it's the guilt in me for being gone on the road.
I just think, like, if you're gonna be in a position of, like, that's your career, it might as well be a sign of success of part of your career.
Well, no, I want to win. I want to win so bad.
But if
that's
you make
why I
the
keep
playoffs,
coming
that means
back.
you win. You just lose the last game unless you win it all.
Well, okay, in my terms of thinking, I'm thinking winning the Horizon League is winning. Everything after that is bonus. Like, if we win the Horizon League and go to a regional, that's cool. I'm thinking losing in the conference tournament, going to the conference tournament, and just falling short.
Oh,
that's where my mind goes.
Well, that's sports.
I know.
Still a friend.
And that's like the Packers. The Packers just put in 3 extra, work weeks and came up short.
Yes, I'm drinking claws. And I think, it is a bummer. And I think that's what makes sports beautiful.
Oh my God, you're so poetic.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. You said friend.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, somebody mentioned it in the comments. I don't even remember who it was. Like, maybe it was Dylan said, "Man, there's nothing worse than when you lose in the playoffs and your senior athletes and you feel so bad for them. That's tough." I don't know.
But I still, that doesn't, like, if that's a foe, if going to the playoffs and, like, being a successful team is a foe, then, like, you shouldn't be in sports.
No, there shouldn't be sports, period. Sports are stupid.
Just saying.
Sports in general are stupid.
They are.
They're all arbitrary.
Well, something about them is.
You got to watch the Flula. You know who Flula is? I think I've showed you the Flula, the German guy explaining baseball.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The pillows on the dirt.
The pillows.
It's really funny video. Anyways, all right, fine, friend. No, fuck it, foe. I don't know. Anyways, all right, we're moving on. We're doing FMK here.
Okay.
Because then we can get some good AMAs in here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our FMK, and then we'll start fielding questions so those of you on the live stream. As we wrap this up, you guys are on like a minute or so delay. You can start getting your questions in here.
Yeah.
Our FMK this week, we want to talk about we're going to talk about the mental, the physical, and the emotional components of this job.
Yep.
F1, marry one, kill one.
God. I will marry the mental aspect.
Ooh, okay.
Because I feel like that's the only reason. Honestly, it's not the only reason, but it's the biggest reason, and it's my everyday reason of why I'm still an athletic trainer. Is the mental preparation I need to have in order to help somebody. And like now for me, it's general population patients, but like when I was with my athletes, I had to mentally prepare and like have like this my game on every day so that I could answer questions and I could come up with that new rehab exercise that actually would get the athlete excited about doing rehab or would be that like one thing that we needed to do. And I always wanted to be, and still always want to be, the person that somebody can go to, and I'm going to provide them the answer or at least get towards the answer of what's wrong and how do we fix it. I feel like I have to marry it. That sounds bad, but I have to. I'm actually going to... It's tough. I want to F the emotional side because sometimes like that ties in with the mental. I'm going to F the physical side because I do think that, and this is why, I think when I feel like my body can't handle like physically working on somebody anymore, that I definitely like, I need to walk away from how I am being an athletic trainer right now. Or like what I view as some of my biggest strengths as an athletic trainer is like literally the physical act of touching somebody. I have a very good touch. I was just working with like and now I've stretched 1.5 million shoulders, right? But like
You can stretch a half a shoulder?
1.5 million.
Oh, so 500,000.
I quit. I quit
1 million
halfway through.
and a half a shoulder,
No.
or 1.5 million.
No. It was 1.5 million.
Okay,
I quit halfway through one of them.
Right.
I was working with one of my coworkers, and I was trying to get him to understand why, when I stretch somebody this way, this is where it leads me next. Like, I now want to address their pec minor because of this, and it had everything to do with this like weird. When I stretch somebody, I can kind of just feel like where there's different tension, and now that takes practice with doing it over and over and over again. But I think that physical act that I take for granted now, it's kind of just that's my thing. That's kind of what keeps me. People are coming back to me is because why did you know to like do this, and like that's what really helped me is because you did this, and so. That means
Isn't that going back to the mental side there?
No, because it's like I'm literally I'm letting my hands do the work. I'm letting my hands guide me where I need to go. And like part of it also is like I'm letting my eyes like guide me, but I'm still gonna say that's the physical act of it. Like when I move you this way, I see this in your hip, and so therefore I want to do this. And I think when I kind of lose that, or if I don't have that, like I need to get out of it. And try to teach people how to do that is where my brain goes for my career. But it means that I would kill the emotional side, but there's a lot of there's a lot good to the emotional side of athletic training. I think it's what, for me, sometimes keeps me up to date and keeps me going in the right direction. At the same time, man, if I didn't have, if I could not be emotional about not fixing my patient or not get frustrated over that kind of stuff, that would really help my life a lot.
Yeah, my frustration, I keep getting frustrated. Currently it's the more when random people come in and I'm not expecting it, my fuse is getting a little bit shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
And so I think that to me is the emotional side a little bit. So I think I'm going to kill that as well. I have a hard time. One, I think it's, for me, the expectations of, okay, I'm going to go in, do my job, and or I'm going to get done I should be done at 3.
Uh-huh.
And then it's 5 o'clock and you're not done, and it's an emotional letdown to me.
Sure.
That part of the job is the part that's getting to me now. It's like I want to go in, I want to help people and move on.
Mm-hmm.
So the emotional side, I think I will kill as well.
Okay.
I think I'm going to... I'm trying to decide between the physical side and the mental side.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to marry the physical side of the job. I actually enjoy the physicality. I like to use it as part of a reminder of why it's so important to move well, or to...
So true.
Like in my situation right now, I'm not getting to the gym at all. So while I'm going throughout my day, it's like, okay, can I sneak in a little? Somebody is stretching, I'm going to stretch too.
Sure.
Or let me demonstrate this exercise and just show you what it's supposed to look like, because I want to show you. Sometimes showing you is just as good as explaining it or whatever. And I like that. Covering the track meet the other day, athletes were having some fun. No, but during the middle of the track meet, a couple of my athletes were having a handstand competition, and I kicked their ass. They're like, "You can't do a handstand." I said, "You want to bet? Let's do it." And they were like, "Whoa,
man, you're so old and you can do handstands."
So little things like that, I still enjoy that side of it. I think that's why we all get into the job in the first place is, just staying involved in sports and movement and that kind of thing. And that's still the favorite part. So
I agree.
The mental side of it, I do enjoy the thought process, the thinking, the thinking on the fly. I'm like a puzzle person, figure out, man, we got to do an escape room. It's been like a year since we've done one.
It's true.
Tinkering and figuring things out. I do like that part of it too.
Yes.
But I do agree that, we had this talk earlier tonight even. After a while, some of it just becomes redundant, and it's really not a mental acuity anymore. It's just like you said, you're just your hands are reacting. You're not really mentally thinking something through. Yeah. You're just like, all right, I've heard 30 seconds of your history, and I already know what it is. You don't have to tell me 5 more minutes of what happened. I already know.
I mean, I definitely
kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's routine. Routine, monotonous. That's why sometimes those new injuries or those unique injuries are almost like, oh, this is something new. This is fun. This is kind of cool. You perk up a little bit.
Sure.
The random case studies. So anyways, I'll just F with that part of the job, the mental side of it. So
F it.
That's your FMK for this week. And I guess we're going to get into our feature topic.
Let's do it.
All right.
Ask me anything.
Wow. We got a lot here.
We have
These guys are. We're not going to get to all of them. Maybe
are you guys even listening? I mean, like these are you're just talking to each other this whole time.
Before we get
That's
there,
great.
I'm going to go back to Matt. Matt had a really good one.
Okay.
Matt, what did I say? Matt Man 972. What's the best way to study medications or patho? By far my worst subject, and I'm taking the BOC next month.
Best way to
study medications. I mean, it's got to be take them all,
pathology.
right?
It's got to be
take all. Yeah. Take all the men. Just
and take twice the recommended amount and see what happens.
Experiment.
I mean, I don't know how else you could learn what could happen, right?
Yeah.
Holy cow! What a question.
You know what? I would have to think it's got to be flashcards.
Well, flashcards. You know, I had a really good
Venn diagrams.
No,
I have no idea.
I had a really good med book, like that. It was like a quick encyclopedia of like every, generic name of medicine.
Okay,
that, like I could go to.
And how many questions?
It was like a nurse, like the nurse's guide or whatever.
On your BOC, how many specific medication questions? Probably not many. It's
not
probably
many.
going to be more like, what's the legality of this, of dispensing? It's those major topics. It's not going to, I can't imagine there's going to be too many, naproxen, sodium
is well, I mean, there might be like a say multiple choice or
scenario.
Check all the boxes of the following NSAIDs, and like that will be for pain relief, and are of these following medications, which one should somebody not take post X? I mean, I think there's that, and that just know what the generic stuff is. And I think the more you can, talk to physicians. So like talk to your physician that you work with and ask him or her of like the, what's your like rundown in your head of like, okay, somebody's coming in with symptom X, Y, and Z. What should I be thinking, and like where should I go with it? I got better and better at medications just naturally as I got older with athletic training, because you just have to figure out what somebody should take, right?
Sampling.
Well, and then sampling. But then the other thing is like, because I worked in an environment that I gave out a lot of different medications because we had an entire Walgreens in our athletic training room. If you don't have access to all that stuff, don't really worry about it. But I will say my quick like nurse's guide, I always enjoyed. I still use it kind of to this day of like learning about medications that like my patients are taking, that what does it interact with? What are some of the side effects? Like, what if, skin things are a side effect of one of those medications? Like, just the more you just look into them, just keep looking into them, just keep looking into them, keep looking into them. Sometimes it'll click. Yeah. I mean, flashcards are obviously great.
Yeah.
But then, like, just read the labels, honestly. Like, when you're in your athletic training room or whatever situation you're in, if you're in college or if you're in a pro room, if you're just looking in your kit, just read those labels, and you'll start to understand actually like how easy some of it really is, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We got one more on social media here.
Yeah.
Well, and then a whole slew from Nate and Dylan in there.
These weirdos.
Yeah. So we'll just answer the ones they got here. I think probably the same questions. Eric Harvey, though, at HarvDog71.
HarvDog.
Why is it that people can I think you forgot a word. Why is it that people can tell who the athletic trainer is at a sporting event? And why is it that we are made fun of for wearing a fanny pack? So
well,
he wants to know about the outfit.
You answered your question. He answered your first question with the second question.
Yeah.
Khakis.
I think it's actually important that we can be identified.
Spot on.
Because if there's a large group of people, you want to know where the medical professional is.
Yes.
I think we should be wearing the lime green
walkie-talkies.
Medic.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wear sports medic if I'm at like a big tournament or something. I want everybody to know no, I do. I want everybody to know. In those big tournaments, sometimes it bites you in the ass that like your shirt says medic on the back because people are like, oh, let me ask you a question, right? It's the coach coming over to you and, asking you more questions than you really should because I'm just here to make sure that nobody dies sometimes. But why do people make fun of us for wearing fanny packs? That's because until like 2 minutes ago, or I was this old when like the freaking fanny packs came back,
I'm banging.
Fanny packs were cool in the 80s, and now they're cool again.
Yeah.
Most of us that are athletic trainers right now grew up in an era that like fanny packs were really silly. And I don't wear one. You don't wear one.
Every once in a while, I dabble.
You dabble.
I experiment.
A dabble, do you?
Okay.
Fupa.
All right, we're gonna go through the live stream questions here. Oh Jesus, we're gonna back way up.
Do you know how to get through all these?
Yeah.
Nate said favorite breed of dog.
I don't know breeds of dogs, to be honest.
What breed is Graham?
He's a mutt. He's like 9 different things according to the DNA test.
Everything. Holy cow.
I actually wasn't a dog person until I got Graham.
Right.
And I honestly could name like 4 breeds of dogs.
Well,
maybe.
Are any of them your favorite?
No.
Okay.
What's yours?
Pit bull. It was growing up. I love bulldogs. My aunt had 2 bulldogs. One was the biggest bitch in the entire world, and then the other one would chew anything in sight. If you had a physio ball, whichever, that thing would be popped within 2 seconds of him walking in this room. But I loved him because he had the biggest character to him of all time. And then I have a pit bull, and he's amazing. I love him.
It's a friendly dog.
Yeah, he is.
All right. So, Ed, we're going to go way back to the beginning here. What are your biggest irrational fears? You have any irrational fears?
Oh, my God. Irrational?
Yeah.
That I'm not going to be prepared for the worst
That's
situation
a deep one.
On the field.
Yeah, that's true. I had a nightmare once. There was a collision, explosion, blood everywhere.
Man.
But that's a rational fear, I think. I think am I prepared is rational.
Well, yeah. I think the irrational part of it is
something you can't control it.
One, that we can't control it, but then 2, we don't know that we're prepared until it happens. I've been in some scary situations and I've been just fine. But so many times thinking I'd have like this little moment of like freak out in my head of, oh my God, like if somebody goes down right now, do I even know what's my emergency action plan here? And then I'd be on the road or something and I'd be like, I have no idea. I didn't even look at the EAP.
Yeah.
Like I have zero idea how far the closest hospital is. And sometimes in my world back when I was in the minor leagues, the home guy or the visiting guy, whoever, would be like, oh, I got to go inside. Can you watch the field? And sometimes I'd have this little moment of freak out, like, please nothing happen.
Yeah.
Cause I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't know. That's me. Emergency action stuff was always my irrational fear.
For me, it's like the feeling like I let someone down, that I missed something, or like I'll wake up and I'll have dreams that I missed a practice or a coverage.
Sure.
And I didn't, or something got switched and I didn't know about it. And I'll be like, oh my God, did I? And then I'll be like, oh no, that was a dream. Yeah. Just like not knowing the schedule. And I think part of it's because I'm not like a writer down.
Yeah.
I'm just tell me and I'll remember.
Sure.
And then it's like, maybe I won't remember at some point. And
you
I
got
think
a lot to remember.
Yeah.
I will say off of that, you kind of hit on it right away of this, like, I'm gonna be there for everybody. I'm gonna fix everything.
Yeah.
I do have an irrational like fear that like my patients or my athletes are like looking at me saying something hurts, I need you to get rid of it. And when I don't get rid of it, that they're like mad, like they're like, you suck at your job. And I don't think the rational patient or athlete ever thinks that. They're like, I wish this would have worked. You've tried your best, and like,
Yeah,
maybe it's really my fault. I do have an irrational, like, I put way too much on myself from that side.
Yeah, you're the emotional one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time.
All right, Dylan, least favorite sport to cover real quick.
Football.
Oh, I don't mind that. For me, we don't have football. At my school, I guess I'd say swimming.
Never covered it.
So many things that I just disagree with fundamentally.
Oh, interesting.
With how they train.
Really?
I think it's stupid.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah, we can get into that.
I'd like to know more of that.
All right. I don't think that's for us.
Where you got? What do you got?
All right, Ed, what's the most embarrassing moment as an AT?
Most embarrassing moment as an AT?
I'll say this. I'll do that. I've ripped some khakis trying to demonstrate. I've ripped some. I've got some underwear hanging out. Some butt. Trying to do a stretch and my pants rip, my khakis.
Oh, most embarrassing thing as an athletic trainer? Maybe being a fan sometimes. Like when you're caught in the fan moment, maybe. Sometimes that's embarrassing.
Really? Nah.
I don't know. In my world, it was. In pro sports, it was a little embarrassing. I think anytime they saw the athletic trainer not just be a little robot-y, like, you know, always straight-faced in the dugout or like on the field and stuff, and you gave a little fist bump, like everybody in the dugout would be like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, we saw that. Don't worry about it.
Nate, what's your biggest AT fuck up?
Ooh, F up. Holy cow.
I got it. I
don't have one offhand.
Nate, this is going back to when I worked with you, an athlete that we both worked with because you took over for me for a semester. We had a soccer player that ended up having a fractured wrist, and I totally missed it. Oh. I let it go for 2 weeks and played in a couple games with a fractured wrist, and then ended up having to go back and be like, oh, yeah, I guess you should be in a cast. So, it was at least a week that I let her play with a broken wrist because I didn't think it was. I thought she just had a wrist sprain. Luckily, it was a soccer player. And now
I've definitely had a couple misdiagnoses that, like, I wish I would have diagnosed earlier, but also was very upfront with the athlete and said, like, hey, it might be this, but that means you have to stop. I think a couple times I've let the athlete be the decision maker, which is, that can be an F up. That can be an F up.
You know, but I was thinking about this earlier today. Sometimes it's just the path of least resistance is, this is what you want to do. If that's what you think is going to hurt, fine. If you want to throw some cups on something, I think it's stupid. But and I was thinking about it in terms of something you told me a long time ago is, if it just gets the patient to buy in, so be it. If you don't think it's going to work, but you think the patient's going to buy into it, fine. It's not going to hurt them. Then try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I had one that's come to mind of, like, I let a guy play through a shoulder injury damn near at least like half a season, and then he ended up having surgery after the season.
Yeah.
And where I fucked up was, like, I didn't let my direct superior know that, like, listen, I've told him the dangers of this and what it is and what I think it could be, but he wants to play through it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those situations, I think, I fucked up because I didn't do the administrative side of it, and I let him dictate it.
Nate also asked, famous athlete coach from any era to sit and have a beer with. Root beer.
A root beer.
Athlete or coach.
Athlete or coach. In any era. That's too many eras. You got one offhand?
Yeah. And I don't know if you're going to consider this an athlete or not. I would love to sit down and pick Arnold Schwarzenegger's brain about bodybuilding and rehab and working out and just, I mean, it's a movement thing.
I think
he's got some experiences. Like, that would be freaking cool to me. Like,
yes.
He's almost at my, your Mount Rushmore, your dinner table. Like, Arnold is right there. He's got the bodybuilding. He's got the movies.
Yeah.
He's got, whatever. I don't really care about politics at all, but between movies and acting, I think that's a cool conversation.
He's really fast. If you come across people that you like other podcasts from and he's being interviewed, he's a really fun listen. I actually on my Audible is his self or his what's the autobiography. It's super long though, and that's why I've put it off. But because I think he's fascinating. I think his life and his career, how he's shaped it, and his decision making is different than most people's.
It's cool.
And I think he took all of that, and that's why he was so good at bodybuilding. Naturally, he had some genes that helped him.
Gotta have genes in those.
That's good. I like the idea of it, being a coach. I read
Matt LaFleur. Why did you do that?
Not yet. Why am I blanking? The UCLA basketball coach. Wooden. I read his book, which I think most people have. I mean, it's a short read. It's really easy. He was such a student of how to interact with humans. I'm sure he knew what he was doing about making a basketball play, but everything had to do with how to interact with humans. Yeah. And I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about.
All right. Dylan asks, if you could give your past self one piece of advice from your current self, what would it be?
I would have dove into the extra education faster. I think I would have I wouldn't have been afraid to go to the left or to the right instead of going straight down the middle.
For me, it'd be stay away from modalities and just get right into the movement side of it. Yeah, totally. And I think that's where I'm really going, in that move your body and move your athletes' bodies in order to heal instead of modalities. He also asks, when was one time as an athletic trainer that you felt that you were doing what you were doing really made a difference? I'm going to say right now.
Yeah.
Actually, the last 3 years I've been working with an athlete who is battling depression and mental health. And I think I make a difference, and that's super important to me.
Good.
We're talking multiple suicide attempts. And we just keep going. And that's what we're going to do.
And that's good. I think for me, the one time maybe that I really felt like I was making a difference. I had actually most recently I've had a patient that literally said, I appreciate your skills as an athletic trainer. I appreciate when I leave here, I feel better. But what I value even more, and why it's so great to keep coming back to see you, is because of the conversations that we have while we're doing treatment. And so where we talk is we geek out on how the body moves and why it's so important for everybody to really understand that if we move our bodies well, we will be able to fight many things, including, and like being very serious here, a virus. I think there is a complete pandemic in this world, and particularly in this country, that athletic trainers can be a part of, aside from doing testing and knowing symptoms and this and that. And that is, we understand how the body's supposed to move, and we should be teaching people how to move their own bodies in order to be healthy. All systems are connected, so do not think that at any moment, just because your immune system is compromised from from having a virus, that movement isn't something that can also heal it. And we've talked about posture, we've talked about breathing, we've talked about everything else, but we are movement specialists, and let's make sure that everybody knows that, and we should be always going that route. And I think that's where I've struggled to sometimes find as many moments in my career now of when I was with athletes and I felt like, oh my God, I got this person back on the field. Yeah. I don't see my patients every day anymore, and so I don't get to see my patients be pain-free while they're sitting at their desk at work. But when my patients come in and they say, you know what, the difference is, like, every time I come see you, I feel like you care about what you're doing right now, and you always have a plan for me. You always have like these ideas, and I can see that like you are trying. And that's it's huge in athletic training. So try and get people to move. What's next?
Who's better, Brady or Rodgers?
Rodgers. There's not a single person that watches football that can say Brady is actually a better NFL like throwing human than like Brady, or Rodgers isn't better. Belichick would have traded Brady in a heartbeat, and he would have won 14 championships.
Ed says he said this, he direct messaged us. He said he's got a Packer story for us. I think Rodgers is more talented, but man, Brady can really do things under pressure.
Brady knows how to freaking win a game.
Okay.
And if that makes him better, that makes him better.
Oh, Ed also wants to know, what's the best restaurant in Milwaukee in case I ever visit? It's a great question.
Oh, that's tough.
That's a good question.
Depending on what you want.
Yeah. I mean,
if you want corner bar food, just go to a corner and you'll find a bar.
Any corner, that's all we have.
Seafood, Third Coast Provisions is a really good seafood restaurant, like on the higher end. Carnivore's your best. Well, Carnivore's a good steak. 5 o'clock Steakhouse is like an old school steakhouse that is amazing. What do you got? Chancery's not around anymore. You can't pump.
There's one Chancery left, but I mean, if you like sushi, there's a place like not too far from here that we go to a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
tuna.
Kevin's worked at all the high-end restaurants.
Yeah, and I think they're high-end restaurants, so they're going to be good. Like
yeah.
I mean that is what they are. But God, you know what? This is what I tell everybody. If you're gonna come to Milwaukee and you want to experience what it is about Milwaukee,
go to Public Market.
Public Market's a really good spot, but then Lakefront Brewery.
Yeah.
Lakefront Brewery they've embodied what, I mean, it's a bunch of Polish people. I mean, you're going to hear like traditional, like Milwaukee style music. I mean, you can get cheese curds, you can get a brat, you can get a beer, you can get things soaked in beer and it's fried. I mean, you can go on a tour and it's all about like having fun and just, meeting your neighbor. I mean, Lakefront's, it's not the best food in the world. You're not going to sit down and be like, holy crap, this is the greatest thing I've ever ate in my life. But the experience there is very Milwaukee. Very Milwaukee.
Couple more food questions real quick. Last meal of choice on death row. I'm going to go just a classic steak and baked potato.
That's what I used to say.
When I was a kid, that's all I ate. Now, it's got to have, for me though, it's got to have something like chips and queso or something.
Sure, on the side.
I love chips and anything are my weakness.
Honestly, I mean, a good just like ribeye with some like nice and creamy mashed potatoes and some like corn, or like even like throw like a different vegetable in there. I'm a very, very happy man. Very happy man.
Dylan says favorite concession food.
Favorite?
Oh man, it's tough.
If beer isn't involved,
concession stand. Nacho. Well, I'm just a nachos guy. Give me some chips and cheese, some freaking liquid cheese.
Nachos are
otherwise
up there.
Reese's peanut butter cups. If we're like if I'm thinking high school athletic, like high school concession stand,
hot dog brat, not tacos, nachos, popcorn. Ooh, just some good old popcorn.
I don't like
popcorn every day.
I don't like concession popcorn. I'm gonna be honest. I like making my own.
See, and I don't love concession nachos.
Oh, they're terrible.
I agree. Every time I buy them, I'm like, I should have got something else.
You know what? Miller Parks, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but that's not concession.
Yeah, you're right. That's like restaurant.
Like if I'm at a high school, I just need to get something in my gullet.
Then just give me a Reese's peanut butter cup. If I'm at a high school facility, give me a.
I'm gonna go nachos too.
All right.
I'm gonna go classic. Open the freaking lid and bad nacho cheese, yellow tortilla chips. What do we got? Anybody?
Nate, you're a parent, or Chad, you're a parent now. How do I get my 4-year-old stepson to quit pulling down his pants because he thinks it's funny? You don't, because it is funny. Sorry, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh. Can't wait till your kid's just pulling on his pants.
Just let somebody else. Yeah. No, I don't know. That's 4-year-old. Oh my God. That's
4-year-old just pulling on his pants, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if he's looking for a laugh, you just got to not laugh at him.
Oh, Ed's irrational fear is snakes. Like Indiana Jones over here. I went on a date with a girl studying snakes. Never mind.
Spotted cow is great. I'll tell you what though, I get different hangovers now if I drink a lot of spotted cow.
What?
It's a cream ale. If you're not from here, it's a cream ale. It just tastes a little different than.
Oh, Nate's irrational fear is getting taken out on the sideline like my brother.
Oh,
Zach, what's Patches O'Houlihan? I don't know.
Patches?
Where that's coming from?
Patches.
I
drink my own urine.
False. Tom Brady. Oakland Euros. No, Nate wants to go to Oakland Euros.
Oakland Euros is really good. You know what? I used to always go to Mykonos, and Mykonos closed
down. Shamrock Shake. I don't know where half this conversation was coming from. I think that's all the questions we got.
Is that all we got?
I think there was some a lot of food talk. Ed, hopefully, you're welcome for the suggestions. Hopefully, we will have you out here in Milwaukee soon.
Yeah,
I know they all. Oh, do we want to answer the other question, the one question that they've been dying to know?
their number one question.
Yeah, the number one question.
Who is
number 2 working for?
Who is the favorite Candid Athletic Training fan?
Who's the number 1?
Who is number 1? And you'll all find out next week.
Cliffhanger. I don't know. No, you guys are all great.
You're all great.
I know. You really think we're going to pick one over the other?
Chad. Jeez.
I'm too nice.
You guys called it like perfectly.
I'm too nice.
And who was I? I was supposed to say Dylan.
You were supposed to say Rick Cox. And I'm
supposed to say Rick Cox. Yeah. That's right. So. Right now, Hannah's my favorite because she's the only one not chiming in. And she says that's what she said more than you do. So
yeah.
Although Zach is really high on my list because he likes Top Gear. I'm just saying.
The show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that last week?
That was last week.
Yeah. Dylan, you must pick one. Fine. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you pick Dave Yeager if you want. That's what they said you were going to do.
I pick my wife. She's listened to one friggin' episode in her entire career.
I got Hannah. Hannah's my favorite right now. But it's ever changing, so you figure it out. And she's not even on. And she's still my favorite.
Dylan, this is like a college bowl system. Like the standings fluctuate.
They do.
It's preseason. We got to wait till the postseason.
Dylan's just used to be in Alabama, and he's like, well, I'm always number one. Sorry, Dave.
Graham is my favorite. You're right, Dylan. So, all right, everyone. Rick, the fat brackets are going to be coming out soon.
Fat brackets are coming.
We just were looking at the dates of when we can do this year's fat bracket. It will happen.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go back and check out all of what we had as fats. I mean, it's a much different season. Anybody could win this year.
I know, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a lot less superheroes and a lot more just regular characters. Well, thank you, everyone, for submitting your questions. We want to do more of this.
Absolutely.
Really fun.
This was really fun. I had a great time just randomly answering all of your questions.
Yeah. Thank you to Healthy Roster.
Yeah. Healthy Roster.
www.healthyroster.com.
Yep. CanadaAthleticTraining.com. Tell all your friends.
Yeah, let's get
people to sign up. We need more talk on this. I mean, I know you guys all love each other and you're all hanging out and you're all having a great time, but we want more people on here. Okay? So tell everybody to go to CanadaAthleticTraining.com. Go sign up for a membership. Remember, anything higher than Wet Your Whistle, you get access to this live feed. And you also get some other special goodies. You get 10% off, you get 20% off, whatever it is. Full Johnson gets you an entire the whole shebang gets you an entire show. It's you. It's all you. So whatever you want to do. Candid_ATC is our social media. CandidaAthleticTraining.com. CandidAthleticTraining@gmail.com. Anything else?
No.
Bye.